Hi guys, welcome to the Human and the Machine Crypto channel, where we talk to the teams developing some of the hottest technologies in the blockchain space around the world. I am your co-host, Chloe, the human, and with me, my co-host.
Hi guys, my name is Hikaru, also known as the Machine, a crypto junkie glued to everything and anything blockchain. So for those of you who are watching our videos, be sure to hit that like button, share, and also subscribe to our channels for more great content.
That's correct. Very good, Machine. So today we have someone really cool. It's a very interesting project that I have a lot of questions already in my mind. And his name is Ethan Wu. Ethan Wu is a developer and community manager at Numbers Protocol. So, Ethan, welcome. Thank you very much for being here with us today. How are you doing? Tell us everything about you.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, so basically, my name is Ethan, and I'm a developer and community manager at Numbers Protocol, a startup company based in Taipei.
Okay. Taipei. Oh,
Got
that's
it.
cool.
Yeah. So, tell us more about your background, let's say before crypto, NFT, and what you're doing at Numbers.
Okay, yeah, sure. So actually, I originally studied chemical engineering actually as an undergraduate and in the States. And then after working at a chemistry startup for a few years, I decided that, the chemistry life wasn't for me. So then I decided to jump into software and, I just went and studied at uh, Georgia Tech for my master's program, and then just this past summer, 2020, I graduated, and then that's when I joined Numbers.
Okay, that's cool. Um, Question: What are you in the right track now?
Oh yes, of course.
Software is the right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely the right
what,
one.
what, 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 what's the difference? Tell me, because a lot of people are puzzled by people who change careers and go into software development. What is what you like? Like, why?
Um, I think it's just the limitless opportunities in software. You can be very creative, and there's so many things that you can utilize software to solve so many different problems. It's really like limitless, and like chemical engineering is a stable career, but it just didn't really speak to my soul, I guess. And then also, yeah, there's also like the health problems related to being around chemicals. So yeah.
Okay, so you
Right.
think blockchain is a little bit safer for you?
Oh, of course. And it's also, I think it's a little bit more helpful for the world too.
Well, yeah,
Right.
yeah, probably, hopefully. So tell us a little bit more about how did you get to Numbers Protocol? What happened? What inspired you from them?
Oh yeah, so I guess like when I graduated, I was like looking around for software engineering positions, and then I came across Numbers, and I thought that I did my research on them, I found that like they did a lot of work in like fake news, like combating fake news and misinformation, and I thought that this is a very like it was around like this is like 2019 and 2020, so like this is when fake news and the misinformation dilemma is like at its hottest, right? With like news media talking about it all the time, so like I thought that doing work being done in this area is really yeah, I think it's a really commendable thing to do, to try to fix this like issue that society has, to yeah. So that's how Numbers caught my eye, and then yeah, I really wanted to work there.
Mhm.
Okay,
So,
okay,
we
and
keep talking about Numbers protocol. For those that are not mathematically inclined, can you give us a high-level overview of what this is, and then what problems are you solving?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned, Numbers was created in 2019 as a response to kind of like the growing distrust in news media and misinformation on the web. And what they found out, and I guess it's kind of obvious, but at the heart of the problem, of the misinformation dilemma, was kind of like the authenticity of data itself. So with that in mind, numbers went and set out to try to find a way to secure and trace data at the origin. So that is how capture and our namesake numbers protocol came to be. So yeah.
It's a very interesting proposition. It's how from the technical perspective, can you tell us a little bit more about how you're doing it?
Yeah, sure. So basically, at Numbers, we developed an image traceability framework, which we call Numbers protocol, basically, and it involves like a three-step process. So it's capture, seal, and then trace. So with capture, we basically record the birth information of media content at the point of creation. And with seal, we take those records and then we make them immutable by storing them on the blockchain. And with trace, we make the media content itself traceable by injecting it with metadata that makes it multi-layered information containers as opposed to just raw files. And then because they're multi-layered and information containers, they're traceable. And the most important quality is that even as this media content is shared across the internet, you can still like see the information.
Okay, but this is a question to me. Like you, we may know and we may be able to trace information to the origin, but that doesn't make it any more authentic than any other or any more fake. You know, since you can put a twist on anything, and this is something that it's really big for me because I may have a million people telling you that that thing was said by that person, and you may have a proof of all this happening. That doesn't mean that I didn't mislead someone with my first statement. So, do you think there's something that is possible to be done, or it would be too arrogant from our side to get all the way there? But I really want to see there's a problem, and the problem is that humans lie, and they
Hmm.
lie because they have interests, right? So, how can you
Yes.
address that without also becoming someone like a Zuckerberg or Bill and Melinda Gates that are just telling you that this is the correct thing and whatever else you think is wrong and it's fake news? How do you solve all those human problems with technology again?
I think the main thing is that it's not about like solving the problem like exactly like directly because as you said like you can't control how humans think and what humans will do. It's about providing the tools to make things to verify and to trace um, what is being said. So like right now there's the issue is that with the internet and with social media it's really easy to share and proliferate like stolen content or misinformation or like fake news. It's really easy to do that. And there aren't many ways to or efficient and like effective ways of sort of verifying whether or not this piece of information is true or false. So then as a result you end up you have the public who is misled, and you spend a lot of time like trying to convince them of the fact, and then but then there's no concrete method of like tracing or verifying. So with numbers protocol and our technology, we provide the individuals the ability to trace and verify these digital assets. Yeah. And you brought up an interesting point because news like our original as I mentioned, like when Numbers was created, our original goal was to address the news media crisis, right? But as we like dived into it a little bit more, we realized that it's a difficult area to address, right? Especially right now, because basically the problem is that a lot of people know that it's a problem, but they don't care about it enough. And also, news media itself also kind of they care about views, so views and reactions, so they don't really actually care about truth. So because of kind of like this mismatch, like it's really hard to push this news media agenda onto the public. So it's something that will take a lot of time, and it can't be solved overnight. So that's why we kind of expanded our sphere to photos and videos, like because photos and videos also care a lot about authenticity, who owns it because of infringement and copyright. So we decided to expand our technology into this area, and which is why we have which is why we're working on NFTs and you know yeah, capture app.
Right.
Okay.
About that, right? Can you, yeah, walk me kind of through a user journey? So let's just say I take a beautiful picture and I want to retain my ownership rights and I want to share it among my
Hmm.
friends. What does it look like, from me taking a picture to spreading on social media and then maybe kind of claiming that, hey, this is mine? Like, how do I prove that?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have like we developed a camera app basically. It's a blockchain camera app and it's called Capture app. It's available on iOS and Android. And basically, it operates exactly the same as your traditional camera app. You just take a picture, and from a user perspective, it's just the same thing. You just take a picture. But what happens behind the scenes is when you take that picture, the phone it has many environmental sensors. So it'll record who took it, so your name, and then it'll record the location of where you took it. It also record that when you took it, like time, and then a bunch of other environmental sensors like battery level, which operating system you're using, and then they'll pack it, and then with all that information, we'll package it up, and then we'll store it onto the blockchain. And when you store onto the blockchain, it makes that photo immutable because there's a record of it and it's transparent. So if somebody takes this photo and they decide to, manipulate it or even use it for themselves, I can point to the blockchain record and say, no, actually, this photo belongs to me. It's got my name on it, right? So then that's one layer of it. So that's the capture and seal portion of the protocol. The last step being the trace protocol would be on the back end of it. We'll inject the information that we collected, like the ownership, where I took it, all this information. We'll inject it directly into the photo as metadata. So like actually, like even if I decide to share it onto Facebook and somebody downloads it, that metadata will still remain with the photo no matter what. So even if I share it, and so if I notice this my photo on a different platform, I can just say this is mine, and then if they say prove it, then I can go to a verification website and say actually it does belong to me. The photo itself will tell you that it's my photo. Yeah.
It's funny, man. It's like you're just addressing all these very human uh, flaws, right? I mean, you're trying to mend the human soul and its flaws with technology. That's really cool, man. Are there any projects similar to your project, and how do you differentiate yourself from them?
I think from the capture app side of it, I think we're unique in that respect. I think there's not too many people out there that have a camera app that utilizes the blockchain to secure their assets. Uh,
Mm,
we do have a NFT marketplace, which we call Capture Club. It's kind of like like how NFTs are really popular right now. So there's like many, 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 many NFT platforms. You have your OpenSeas, your Raribles, and all these other new ones that are popping up. So with all these NFT platforms, it's kind of difficult to differentiate them. But for Capture Club, we're not exactly an NFT platform, but we're a platform for captures. So like what I mentioned before is that like when I take a picture, right, um, it becomes an information container. It has many layers. It has like my ownership. It has all this other information. What I can also inject into the photo is an NFT token. So when I inject an NFT token into the photo it becomes an NFT as well. But it's not exactly an NFT. It's still a photo. So you have to think of Capture Club as kind of like Shutterstock, but like when I get a photo from Shutterstock, I'm also getting an NFT token, kind of like a certificate of ownership as well. So that's like a good way of thinking about it. And then like there are a lot of benefits for our platform because we're not an NFT platform. We can also, because we're not exactly an NFT platform, we're a platform for captures and digital assets. The user experience on our platform is actually much more like intuitive. It's what people are used to, So like instead of having to use, a crypto wallet to buy, this NFT, I can just use a credit card because you're buying a digital asset with a token injected into it, So I'm not actually using cryptocurrency. And then on top of that, like another thing that a lot of people don't really realize about NFTs is that like when I buy an NFT, I'm actually only buying the token itself. I'm actually not buying the like what I'm paying for is not actually the digital asset. It's actually just the token. So I think like there's like for like the common person, like maybe like the non-crypto like enthusiast, like when they buy an NFT, they're really confused because they get the token, and they're like, "Where's my NFT? Where's my like where's this photo that I bought?" You know. So I think
Hmm.
for when you buy an asset on a capture club, like yeah, you're actually buying the picture. The picture is what you get, you know. And then another thing that's different about our platform is that Capture app and Capture Club kind of work in tandem together. So like um, if I want to create, I can create captures that can be posted on Capture Club with Capture app. And then every capture that I buy from Capture Club can be viewed on my phone, my Capture app application in my Capture wallet. So it's kind of got like a nice little user flow experience. They work together, like one as a platform, the other one as a tool. Yeah.
Awesome. So, like, other than photos which are implied, can you do like videos and maybe other types of content? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So we can also do videos, and then we can also do GIFs, and then that's what we can support right now. But moving forward, we'll of course we'll support other things as well. Yeah.
Got it. So I feel like there's a huge monetization model around this. Just imagine an Instagram, but now all of a
Yeah.
sudden the content creators can monetize. So do you have more ideas on how this will evolve on numbers?
Yeah. So right now we're because our platform was just recently launched in April, late April, I think. So we've only been live. Capture Club it's only been live for a little while. We're Our focus is kind of like on small creators first, um, and I think that we've also had like a few more notable like Asian celebrities like drop their celebrity NFTs on our platform as well. So like I think I think the flow that we want is that we want people to use Capture app to you take the photos, and then from there they can monetize on Capture Club. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, can you expand on what you mentioned about the celebrities?
Oh yeah. So we've had a few celebrities from Asia. So like we had our first one being a DJ based in Taiwan called DJ Kaku. He issued like a NFT drop, a charity drop for his fans. Um, and just this a few weeks ago, we also had a drop with Venice Wu, who was like a old Taiwanese celebrity, like actor, singer. Yeah. Both of them, like, yeah, they both of them issued drops for their fans, sort of, and then they're with the added incentive of like proceeds going to charity. And yeah, they chose our platform because, I guess, because of the accessibility of it. You know, the fact that people can just use their credit cards to buy it, and yeah, just the ease of it, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so we are listening way of monetizing, right? It has nothing to do with the core value proposition we started talking with. And that's okay. I mean, sometimes we
Hmm.
create an empire for one thing, but it's a beautiful empire where no one wants to live in, right? So you're going the
Hmm.
NFT route, right? So do you think there's a way that you can reconcile these two things, and that actually making sure that fake news are, at least they know, we know their origin, are going to be something that you guys can
Hmm.
monetize on? And if so, how are you planning to monetize on such a, something so feeble, so that it's difficult to touch and ground? Or maybe you are going to go the
Yeah. So
NFT route and that's it.
I think that's a great question. So to be actually, we haven't actually abandoned our desire to address fake news and misinformation. It's just we've expanded it a little bit, our scope. Um, I think at Numbers, we're not trying to be like an NFT platform. The main goal of Numbers is actually to create something we call an authentic media network. So it's kind of like this big idea of a space where only true and authentic content exists, pretty much. So we decided to tackle, because of the challenges of tackling news media and misinformation, we decided to have that kind of like running in the back burner. We're still working on it, and address like photos and digital assets and the NFT sphere, so we can get more like exposure, so people can understand what capture is. Because um, the way we think about it, capture is kind of like a movement. It's kind of like people need to understand through this addressing the photo and like the photo problems, the issues with digital assets. First by they need to understand that, like, hey, captures can solve this, and from there we can grow the ecosystem, we can grow the movement and the community behind capture, and then we can finally address something like news. So the idea is that, like, maybe in the future, right now we're working on Capture Club, but in the future there may be like a capture news, for example, like a capture news platform where
Yeah.
we couple like the capture images along with news, and then it's verifiable, and we'll have to design some sort of like metric for verifying it and maintaining that like this platform is just completely all factual. So this is kind of like our
Yeah.
our, our main goal. Like right now, like we're on the map right now because people know of Capture app and Capture Club, but like our overall goal, maybe past 5 years, like our long-term goal is actually to just create this thing we call the authentic media network.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. You gotta start somewhere with
Yeah,
solid
exactly.
foundations. Yeah, so as an authentic media network, right? Hopefully it doesn't happen, but what if someone does put up false or misleading information and it's already written on the blockchain? How do you cope with that?
We'll definitely have. So we don't have anything. I don't have. I think the company is still trying to. It's a great question, right? So I think we'll have to figure out like what the metrics is for that. But like a lot, like everything on the block, like a lot of blockchain projects, it really relies on the community, right? So like there will be in the future when maybe when we have our token, there will be like metrics. Maybe we'll use like AI technology and coupled with um, community like efforts to like make sure the environment is clean. Yeah. And in the event
Cool.
that it is
Okay.
clean, then in the event that there is like something fake or misleading, then it will be removed, and then whoever did the deed or helped to do the deed will be rewarded token wise or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, at least you can find out who the culprit was, right? By
yeah, yeah,
tracing back.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
One
perpetrator
question,
is
man.
yeah.
Uh, we want This is all about DeFi, blockchain. Everything is about communities, right? And especially for someone
Hmm.
like you that is actually involved in the community management.
Hmm.
What would be your message? What would you tell people about your project to help your project being successful? It's really important that we see projects that have real success, right? That they have a proven record that they are going to stay here for good. What would you tell them?
Um, I would we would love for the community to take part in what we call the authentic media renaissance. And I think there are a fair number of people out there that are kind of fed up with misinformation, and kind of like fed up with maybe creators who are fed up with their works being stolen or like misused. So I would invite them to just check our project out, and also to try out like our platforms, our try out Capture Club, try monetizing on Capture Club and see how you feel about it. And also, of course, try Capture app and see how easy it is,
Mm,
to use, and to just with the click of a button, secure your assets, and make sure make them traceable and verifiable. Yeah.
okay. And what question?
Got
Do
it.
you have any? Sorry, bro. Do you have any contests or campaigns for captures? Anything that is going to make people exciting about using?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course. Yeah, yeah. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. So we'll be running a video competition, starting on June 25th, for our capture community, and we're basically inviting people to kind of experience what using Capture app is like, how like experience creating a capture, and it's basically a 10-second video campaign. You submit a video, and then there's a theme, and then you select the video, and then the community has a chance of, and then there'll be community voting, and then there's a chance for them to win a cash prize and also a free issuance of an NFT on our platform.
Cool.
What kind of NFT can I win?
It's not you're winning an NFT. Your video will become an NFT, and then you can list it on our platform.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
So a chance to become famous, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, got it. Right now, do you have any like particularly outstanding content, on Capture Club?
I'd say it's we have a few artists for sure. Yeah, so we had some small, kind of like small digital artists released a few collections on Capture Club, and on our platform we have like this kind of like interesting way of. Are you guys familiar with Japanese gacha?
Gasha?
Yeah, gacha.
No.
Can you explain? We're
Okay,
not the
yeah.
most
So
culturally inclined. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Shame on you,
basic.
machine. Shame on you.
I'm just a machine. Remember that.
Yeah, basically,
You were
you
manufacturing in Japan.
yeah. So basically, you have like a collection of 6 items, and then you basically roll for it. So you spend some money, and then you roll for it, and then you have a chance to get, like, you don't know what you're gonna get, and then you get something, and then you try to collect like items like that. So
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You put
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
coins
It's
in,
like
you
the little
spin it, and
balls.
you get these
Yeah, yeah,
balls,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So like we
Yeah.
basically
It's like
have.
gambling. Yeah,
Yeah,
4K.
yeah, yeah. It's like a kind of like an interesting, fun way of kind of getting completing a collection. So some small digital artists in Asia reached out to us, and then they had some like cute little like drawings that they made into NFTs, and then they wanted to issue like this collection for their fans, and then also. As I mentioned before, the celebrity drops are pretty cool. So DJ Kaku's drop was he collaborated with like a really well-known 3D artist, and then he also has like it's got his music in the background as well, And then Venice Wu's drop was also kind of interesting and cool as well. So yeah, I think we're definitely in the works of expanding our usership, but yeah, we've had a few nice ones.
Very nice. Very nice. So, Hikaru, I think we have to start rounding this up. And Ethan, one thing that we always ask our guests is that if they wouldn't mind coming in 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, so we can follow up and we can see the evolution of a project like yours. What would you say about this?
Are you asking me whether or not I would come back in like to
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Hikaru, any questions
Got
for
it.
him?
Yeah, I mean, I think just
Thanks a
one
lot.
final thing is, of course, it seems like a very community-driven project. So can you remind us again, how can the community reach you? How can they interact with you?
Oh, yeah, of course. So you can join our Numbers community channel. We have both English and Chinese, so you can join us there. And then you can follow us on Twitter as well. And we got 2 accounts. One is our company account, Numbers Protocol, and then another one is dedicated for Capture app, which is called Only True Photos, at Only True Photos. And yeah, you can get news and updates on all those channels. And we also post regular articles on our Medium. So we have a Numbers Protocol Medium. So there's a lot of tech surveys and dev blogs and project updates, drop updates, and commentaries on data authenticity and NFTs on there. So yeah, let's go check it out there.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Ethan. The project sounds really cool, and we can't wait to have you back and you let us know a little bit of how things evolve. And yeah, thank you. And well, guys, make sure that if you like this episode and all our episodes, just like, share, and subscribe. Ethan, all the best for you, buddy. All the best for your team. Say hi to everyone. We want to go to Taipei, and we've heard amazing stuff about the place and the food and the people. So I definitely want to go there. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you very much, and see you very soon.
Right. Yeah, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
having me.
Ethan. Yeah.
Okay,
Good
bye.
luck to Numbers.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right, goodbye.
Good luck.
Bye.
All
Okay,
right. What did
machine.
you think, T?
Well, it's interesting. It's an
Yeah.
interesting project. I like that they're trying to resolve really hard questions, really hard problems. I also like that they don't have all the answers, but they are finding ways to keep the
Hmm.
project happening, right? Without just like giving up. It's like, okay, no one cares, no one wants, fuck it. So
Yeah.
I like those things. I like it. Is I don't know. This business proposition. It's to me, it's interesting, but it's overextending in the way. Again, I was saying, right? Like it's they're addressing human issues. These are not just problems. These are
Right.
issues of people lying, people saying what they want, presenting the part of the truth that fits them, and kind of like like we have also like having toddlers and no, it's mine, no, it's mine.
Yeah.
It's a very strange way, but it's commendable that they are trying to do it
Yeah.
and they're allocating resources to that.
Yeah, I mean,
What
with
do you
all due
think?
respect, right? Like solving the media authenticity, it's a big problem. But I think the
Yeah,
problem goes well beyond just the tech layer. It's actually a big social, economic, political. But I mean, I think they'll get there
correct.
someday. But as we were discussing, right, I like how they're also moving into like the social side, like Instagram,
Yeah,
monetization. And despite being an
yeah.
early project, they already did, what was it, campaigns with the
Mm,
celebrities, right? Like Kaku. So
yeah,
I think that's real traction. And this is exactly what we want to see, right?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's nice to talk to a guy that is not a CEO or a CTO because this guy is actually a developer and in charge of community management, right? Which is a
Hands on.
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, very. It cannot be more hands-on than that, really, because we know, right, how hard it is to, like to drive these projects. Forget about the success. Out of obscurity, it's already a big challenge, and these guys are doing it. I love it.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
as always, time passes by really quickly, but I think that's it
yeah.
for today. So, again, we had a
That's
pleasure
it.
interviewing
That's it.
Ethan Wu from Numbers Protocol. And T,
Yeah,
anything else to say?
that's correct. All the best, guys. See you next time. Thank you very
All right,
much.
cool.
Thank you, Machine, for your great co-hosting as
All right.
usual, sir. Okay? Take care, buddy. See
All
you.
right.
Thank you,
See
everyone,
you
for
guys again
watching.
next time. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.